Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. My name is Alex. I'm here with Nina. Nina, I bet you were absolutely gutted that you weren't at Bournemouth, but you know what? We didn't lose today, so surely there's some positives we can take. We've just drawn 2-2 at home against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't the worst game, so that's refreshing, I guess. I mean, especially going up against Nottingham Forest, I didn't think this game was going to be easy, obviously for obvious reasons, and Forest looked like they were up for it, and they turned up today. You know, we went 1-0 down very early on at home, and we thought, well, this is how it's going to go, you know. And like I said, we've struggled to have it in us to find equalisers, to get goals. You know, it's been impossible, but my goodness, we had a comeback today, you know, from 1-0 down to come out 2-1 on top was
That's unheard of.
Unheard of. I was really celebrating it. I thought if we can defend this 2-1 lead today, I think this is going to be one of the most positive games of the season for the reason I mentioned, you know, making a comeback. I think the way we set up, it was refreshing to see the players that I've kind of been obviously advocating to get some game time in there. Badia Shil was back in, of course. Lewis Hall getting some minutes. I guess that's probably not Frank's biggest kind of priority there, but I think obviously because Chile and Cucurella are obviously out now, but I think if he'd perhaps eased Lewis Hall in like the previous few games, or like subbed him on perhaps to kind of ease him into what he is going to be, you know, coming up against, you know, when we play United, City and Newcastle, because I would say that he looked all right. You know, he was dispossessed a fair few times, but you know, that cross to João Felix in the first half was spot on. It was a great cross, you know. Instead of passing back, he looked forward, and you know, we've seen some fantastic moments from Lewis Hall. You know, City is one that pops up immediately. You know, he was amazing back then. So you know, he's got the potential there. So again, that could be something special if he's you know, got the training, and he played a long time today as well. So yeah, nice. Again, Noni Madueke, I'd say great that he's trying to get up there. You know, he really was trying to find his players in the box, you know, when he was taking it up until the end. Perhaps sometimes I'm just itching for him to just shoot and have a shot, perhaps just try it out, but again, that's confidence, and I think that will come because now he is getting a little bit more playing time. Sterling hasn't had the best of games recently. Really, I was complaining that Mudryk isn't getting started over him because he has deserved it, but fair enough for the goals. You know, the first one had, I think, 2 deflections for it to go in, but then the second one was an absolutely unreal goal. Like, it was great to see. So we've got what now, five goals in 2 games. I didn't think I'd say that.
It's unbelievable, Nina.
It is unbelievable. So great. Yeah, you like you said, there are positives to take. You know, we are scoring goals now.
How are we going to choose goal of the month?
Don't know. There's so much to choose from. I think they're going to have to gather everyone, rewatch all 5 goals. Yeah, 6 of them. However, is it 6? I think in total now. But
can't keep count anymore.
Can't keep count, lost count, you know, into the double digits soon. No, but it's nice to at least enjoy this, and like I said, not getting carried away. Us Chelsea fans have been so deprived of like goals, of celebrations, of just any sort of happiness, so I am really taking it, you know, as it comes. 2-2 draw against a team that's fighting with claws to, you know, to stay up in the Premier League. Yeah, all right. João Felix, I think he was very restricted in the first half. He had 3-4 man on his back at all times if he was anywhere near Nottingham Forest's box. So it's hard. It really is hard to get out of those situations, and that's what I would excuse him for, because when he's got the space and he can get a shot off, it's a decent shot. So again, like I said, I am someone that likes João Felix. I do think the end product isn't quite there, but again, you know, you never know. But today I think he struggled. I think Nottingham Forest knew to mark him especially, and we saw that happen. Kovacic, I'm very disappointed with Kovacic. I think he's had a big fall off. I don't know what to put it on, but for me it just seems like he's ready to go now as well, and he's kind of counting his days. So yeah, like I said, it's hard to find players this season that really want to play and to turn up. Like Sterling hasn't looked like he's been turning up, but today he did. If he can keep it up, because we're gonna need that. You know, he's here to stay. We really needed him in those games where we played the big dogs. You know, the big dogs that he has played against more times than he can count, and he let us down on multiple occasions. So I've got high expectations for Sterling. That's why I'm so critical of him, and I have been. You know, great, you got 2 goals, but do it again. Keep it up. Be involved. Because Mudryk didn't even make it on today. You know, Ziyech was brought on. That's another questionable decision from Frank. Why is Ziyech getting minutes over Mudryk? But I can repeat myself so many times on that point. But yeah, like I said, 2-2 draw. Nottingham Forest fought it for that point. So fair enough to them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really say much more. But, I mean, I can't say there's a lack of effort from us either, which is something different. I mean, the game was there. We could have easily lost against Bournemouth. Today, we had chances. I mean, João Felix, he almost scored. But just going back on what you said about Felix and Kovacic, players who you don't think are going to be here next season. I mean, both of those players have openly stated how much they like being here.
Yeah.
You know, so I find that a bit of a strange one, especially Felix being a loanee. You know, he's got nothing to... He doesn't have to prove anything to the fans. He could just go back to Madrid. It seems to me like he wants to stay. But then people are saying, well, he wants Champions League football. So I'm struggling a little bit there. With Kovacic, I can understand. I mean, where do you stand on these players? Do you want them to stay?
Felix and Kovacic. Yeah, I'd like Felix to stay. If we could get another loan potentially for him, that'd be perfect. You know, that would be absolutely perfect because we get to trial him out again with the right manager. That's the most key part there. You know, if the right manager can work out where João Felix fits into this squad and how he can play best, then I think that's great. And it's also the build around him. It's the players around him, because João Felix is someone who can build up and be involved in creating a build up to goals perfectly. If he's got the right support, if he's got the correct service from the midfield as well, he's special. When he's isolated, he struggles, but that's normal, you know. So I am someone that thinks that he deserves to be worked with the right manager. He brightens up our attack. He's so interesting to watch as well, and the little ways he gets out of tight spaces is crazy as well. You know, some of our players need about 2 touches to control a ball. João Felix needs almost half. You know, he's very technically gifted, and he's interesting to watch.
Does what João Felix do justify paying 80 million?
See, that's a bit of a debate there, and I said that because the end product hasn't been there. He's cost us a lot of goals as well. There's been loads of chances in this season where we could potentially have had some more goals, and you know, he has been costly. But then you weigh it up with but he builds up and he creates, and he's interesting, he's bright, he looks forward, he doesn't think backwards. So there is a debate there. So that's why I think that another loan would be a better option. But like I said, Atletico Madrid would probably want a fair amount of money for him, wouldn't they?
Well, they paid more than 100 million for him, so you can kind of understand it. But we're the only team, well, our owners are the only people, I don't want to say stupid enough, but, you know, they're the only ones that actually consider something like that, which is kind of embarrassing to say. But Just speaking on them, obviously, I don't think Bowley and Egbali have been there over the past couple of games. I saw them at the Lakers game in America. Must have been nice to see a win out there, you know. But what do they need to do? What's the main positions and decisions that need to be a priority for next season?
Releasing players, selling players, absolutely. First of all, that's a must. There's so many that need to be sold. We need to make some money off them. I worry that we won't be able to sell as many as we need to and want to, but players have to go before we do anything. Players have to go. There is a long, extensive list of them that we need to sell, and we need to start building around the players that are here for 6, 7, 8 years, that are wanting to stay at Chelsea or wanting to build a future for this club. So that's the first starting point. And then it's spending wisely. Then it's looking to address the areas where we will need to address. You know, of course, we're looking at midfield areas. We're looking to bring in, obviously, Nkunku's coming as well. You know, I almost forget that he's coming in, but that's another thing that's happening next season as well. So there is steps that need to be taken, and I hope that they're doing it, you know, responsibly, not splashing cash. Well, we can't really do that the same way we have in January anyway, but it's just being very smart with it. It's being smart with who needs to go, who needs to stay, and then working around that. And then obviously the manager as well. That's another one. They need to be, obviously, Todd's got it wrong. He did with Potter. He admitted it. It took a while. However, I don't think
he needs to take a step back, Todd.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think because, okay, fair enough, he's admitted the mistakes he has, but he hasn't really offered a promising plan B, if I can say, or plan C, because obviously it looked like Lampard was kind of the plan B for a short term. But then what's the real plan here? Because we are still looking for that manager that's going to be here to take this long-term project, you know, and make it happen in the future. So manager is absolutely 100% equally important in this situation, because then with that manager, he can then start to work with that new team, with the new players that are here to stay. And I don't want to be seeing players like Ziyech, and not just him, not just singling him out, but him among all the other players that are getting playing time still. Don't want to see them anywhere near the rest of the lineups. Yeah, we are playing City, United and Newcastle, but who cares? Just play the young ones, you know, just play the ones that are here to stay. Play Lewis Hall, play Noni Madueke, play Mudryk, play Badiashile. And let's just see what we can get out of those 3 games.
Predictions going into the last 3 games of the season. We've got City away, United away, Newcastle at home.
Not expecting anything from City away. Old Trafford potentially could maybe get something out of that. We already had a 1-1 draw here at the Bridge. I could potentially see us challenging them a little bit just because it is United. But like I said, I wouldn't rely heavily on that. Maybe a point out of those 3 games I see in United. And Newcastle, oh dear, I'm dreading to think what that one's going to be, but I just hope they're not pulling out anything they did on Tottenham out here, because that would be painful, especially because it's the last game in the season. But hey, I guess we'll wait and see.